Welcome to the Weekly Well. Today I'd like to talk about another Old Testament character, that being Esther, from the book of Esther in the Old Testament. I want to highlight something about Esther, and that is her boldness. Let me set this up for you a little bit. Esther is young. We don't know exactly how young. We don't know her age. Scripture doesn't tell us that. But it does say that she is young. And she is part of a group of young women that are brought for beauty treatments and such to be brought before the king because he is going to select a new queen. And so Esther is one of those who is brought before him. She pleases him. He's quite taken with her. And so she, in fact, does eventually become the queen. Now, there's something interesting going on here, too. In that culture, no one, even the queen, would never approach the king or go in to see the king uninvited. To do so was a very dangerous thing. It could mean the death penalty for you. The only way to avoid that is if the king was favorable to you and extended the gold scepter. But that wasn't a given, even for the queen, that he would do that. But Esther learns of a plot from her uncle that someone is trying to eradicate the Jews, the entire nation of the Jews, captive there. And so she has to find a way to save her people. And so she goes to the king unannounced and literally risks her life in order to gain an audience with the king. He extends the gold scepter to her, and she comes in, and on more than one occasion, she does this, risking her life, but she eventually exposes the plan, this evil plan from Haman, who is the king's right-hand man, to eradicate the Jews. And she effectively, as a young person, a very young person, saves her entire nation from being wiped out. The lesson for me here is clear. There's a boldness about her. She has a faith and a trust in God to look after her and to provide for her. And she's going to go into the king and be bold about it because she knows her people are depending on her. She has come to this position, as it says in the scripture, for such a time as this, so that she can save her people. When I'm faced with something that is difficult, am I bold? Or am I simply just fearful? Do I avoid doing the difficult thing because I'm afraid? Or do I have a boldness about me? Is there boldness for me to know that God is going to look after me and take care of me? I admire Esther in this. And so I want to remind us of this, that for us as believers in Jesus, when we're called to do things that are difficult, when we're called to speak to someone whom we maybe don't want to speak to, and it's hard to do, can we be bold to do the things God has called us to do? Those things that He has placed in front of us that are not easy, but necessary. Are we bold for Jesus Christ? I encourage you to be so. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.